Welcome back, grade 12s. Yes, we are busy with asset disposal. And remember, in our previous segment, we dealt with the concept of asset disposal. Let us now look at the ledger accounts to make sure that we fully comprehend and understand what is going on. Okay, so here goes. Here's my fixed asset account. Let us analyze it. Let us understand this account because there's important information in this account. Starting off with my balance. That one there is my opening balance as it is clearly shown to you on the slide. Your asset has a debit balance at the beginning of the year. Okay, then obviously if you purchase an asset during the year, remember we dealt with this very early in the first segment of today's lesson, and what did we say our entry was? A debit to the asset account, here it is, and a credit either to bank or to the creditor's control depending on how we had purchased that particular asset. Alright, now let's look at the credit side of this account. What do we have here? We have asset disposal. Now what is this all about? Do you remember step 2 in the disposal? What was my entry? A debit to asset disposal and a credit to my asset account. So that's what it's all about, grade 12s. When we are selling an asset, when we are disposing of an asset, we will credit the asset account. That's that entry, as in step number 2. And then finally, what do? We balance the account. Why? Because it's an asset account that needs to be balanced at the end of your financial year. Okay, so that's the fixed asset account. Let's go on to the accumulated depreciation account. Once again, I start off with my opening balance, beginning of the year. Why on the credit side? A negative assets, I have a credit balance and therefore the opening balance on the credit side. Then, watch this account closely, please, so that you know exactly what's going on. Watch, this depreciation here is your depreciation of the vehicle that you are selling. Do you remember in step number 1, you calculated depreciation? Yes, that's the depreciation on the vehicle that you are selling. Got that? Brilliant. Then you have another depreciation entry. Now, what depreciation is that? That would be your depreciation on your unsold equipment. Remember the remainder of your equipment. You have to calculate depreciation on that as well because that asset has not been sold and has been utilized for the entire financial year. Now we come to the debit side of this account. This one here. Do you recall step number 3? I'm certain you do. A debit to accumulated depreciation and a credit to asset disposal. So therefore, you can clearly see the reconstruction of the entries in this particular account. Okay. Now, my asset disposal account. Remember, there's my cost price. You know where that came from? Certainly. A debit to asset disposal, a credit to my asset account. Look at this entry here. Do you know where that one came from? Certainly you do. That was a debit to my accumulated depreciation and a credit to my asset disposal. I've taken out the accumulated depreciation of the asset that I'm disposing. Remember this entry here? Yes. How did I sell the asset? Did I sell for cash? Did I sell on credit? Or did I trade it in? Remember, there are 3 other possibilities with regard to asset disposal. The owner could have taken it. Then my entry would be drawings. If I donated to a local indigent school, I would debit donations. And if the asset was insured and I haven't received payment from the insurance company, but they've acknowledged the claim, I would debit my insurance claim and credit my asset disposal. So those are 6 ways that I've given you for the disposal of an asset. Right? Now, if the account happens that we have to debit the asset disposal, then obviously you're going to credit the profit on sale of asset. And you know then, why would that happen? When my selling price is greater than my carrying value. But if my selling price is less than my carrying value, matriculants, then certainly, we're going to have a loss on sale of asset. Got that very, very clear? Okay. Then if you look at your depreciation account, there you have your two entries. Your one entry for the asset that was sold, the depreciation on the asset that was sold, and then finally, this is your depreciation on the remainder, and that depreciation being an expense account will be transferred to my profit and loss account. Okay, what have you seen here? You've seen exactly how we have dealt with each of the ledger accounts that are directly affected with a transaction that involves the disposal of a fixed asset. Don't go away. We'll be back with you in just a while. So stay tuned to Matrix Uploaded.